My name is McRae, and we're here assembling a 20 by 20 layout of metal studs. Many people may not be familiar with this material, but it's simple, easy, faster, and stronger. As you can see in the ground here, is tracks and stud. That's the first sign of assembling this material. There's a platform which is 20 by 20. As we go on, you will see the beginning and ending stages of this assembling of this material. Right now what we're looking at now is called a stud. You actually can make a box beam out of this. This material itself has a 20 gauge, 25, and a 22 gauge, which we will be producing here in Guyana. These holes that you see here, I'm quite sure a lot of you might want to know what's the purpose of it. Right, so there's a reason why they have these holes, to assist you in your installation of wiring or piping. These dimples, as you see here, it's actually, when you're screwing, it gives you some sort of stability when you're applying the sheetrock to the metal stud. All right, this is only one of the products, and this is called a stud. The track now. The track is used for installing the stud actually installed in the track, but this is actually something that is on the bottom of your flooring and the top of your ceiling. So it's installed like this onto the ground, face down, face up, ceiling. So if you notice, there's no holes, so it's easy to identify tracks from studs. As you can see here, the track and stud. So it's a simple material, easy to understand, and in the assembly, you know what is what. Solid, this track, holes, studs. This is phase one of this structure that we are assembling right now, which we have first the bottom track, top track, and then the vertical ones you're seeing is called studs. In the middle of this, we have a vibration support or splice bar, which will stabilize the vertical studs in case of wind, hurricane. This will surely support the whole entire wall, which is a mid-span called a splice bar. This is only phase one. And this was just one way you can frame a wall. Needs a ladder or an elevated lift. And this is one way of framing an exterior wall. The second phase, which you're shortly going to see, which we already started here. This particular wall right now, we're going to assemble a wall from the ground level or on the floor. Then it's going to be raising. We're going to raise it up and install it. The finished product should look like this once it's done. So Roger is trying to set them 16 dead center, which is the right way to assemble these. Closer is stronger. So this is a ground assembly. Like I said earlier, an aerial assembly. So you'll see in a few minutes how it's put together and put towards the platform in the vertical position. Many people will use particular screws like this. This will can work harder to assemble and to install into the metal. So you would like to have a cutting edge. Some of these come black, but the black one does not have a cutting edge or a self-tapper, we call it. So this will be the ideal thing to use, or you can use the black ones, but it's a little bit more harder to work with. So my thing is that we use here would be the self-tappers for the assembling of studs, self-tappers for also sheetrock. We have Hayden, Gordon, and Roger now. It's going to show you how this is assembled in the vertical position from the assembly underground. As you can see. It's been put in place. The screws that is used in this project here, first we have a coarse one which is called wood screw, and moving over here, same screw, but this is a stud screw, finer coarse screw. Then this is called a self-tapper screw, and these are called zippies. That's how most people would call them, or short self-tapper. You can see we're in the last stage of fixing the 20 by 20 opening for our showcase Michael McRae studs. Previously, we discussed our phases. Phase one was we got tracks and top, tracks in the bottom. Then we have the vertical shoring, which is the studs. These are 6-inch walls. If you come around this way, it's the same thing, 6-inch walls. And the most important thing, the spice bar. These is what keeps this from not shaking. As you can see, we have this is actually a bathroom window, which we actually going to have a mock-up of what a toilet or installation would be. And this is a window of the bathroom. Okay, and remember, these are 6-inch studs. These are exterior studs. And then we have the 2.5 and the exterior. So we're showcasing two sizes of studs at the moment. Also with a spice bar. These are very important, especially when you're doing a high structure, to have everything stabilized in a manner of hurricane or high wind. This will stop the rattling and keep all of these vertical studs in place for strength. This wall was a wall that was, we did two types of wall. We did a vertical standing wall, and then we did a horizontal wall, which was assembled on the ground and then put in place. This whole entire wall here on this side was done on the ground, put in place. That's two ways of assembling these type of framing, metal framing. Mind you, this is 20 gauge studs. Soon we'll be producing 16, 18, all the way up to 25 in the future. As you can see over here, this will be also a window. This is just a mock-up of what we are showcasing today and for the Expo. Welcome to Michael McRae, production of the studs. Phase one is finished. There's a little bit of electrical wire, or we're applying electrical into the studs. As you can see, these little yellow grommets is made for one reason. It's to protect the wire through the metal studs, so there'll be no cutting, clipping, and this is one way. We have one of our electrical boxes that is installed. As you can see, the wire and the box. This is one way that we assemble electrical. We have a few more members of the team and consists of the Guyanese, which we are trying to help them understand this material, how to work with it, because these are the people, the Guyanese people, who's going to be doing this. Being receptive to it is going to be much easier for them if they get into the construction business. It's lighter, probably lasts a little longer in their lives without doing any weightlifting. It's very light material. So our main project is to have Guyanese educated and trained how to assemble this system. So we will take, in our time being here, to teach them at least 5 weeks of training. It's free, and everyone is welcome to learn about the pin system. I'm going to show you right now, this is called BX. It's a metal form with wires running through it, and you really don't need the grommets like I showed you earlier, the yellow insert into the studs. You actually can pull this through the stud without damaging the wire. This is a 12-3, consists of 3 wires. And also the BX, you really don't need a ground. You can use a ground, but it's not necessary. We all know the green is always the ground, your carrier, and your white. So, safer way to use this without damaging while applying it to the studs is the BX. Rigid, can be bent, doesn't break, can be folded up and go back to its original position.
I'm working with G Bark and Sons Company, and so far working with the metal straps, it's quite okay. No complaint, and it's very easy and fast. Much lighter than hollow blocks plus the woods.
So now you work better.
So I find it very easy to work with.
As you can see, we're installing plywood on the exterior part of this structure. This is one of the ways of installing an exterior wall. Many will do concrete boards or sheetrock, dense glass. But on this particular project, because it's just a demonstration, we're using plywood. As we spoke earlier about applying the electrical boxes onto the stud, this is how it's done. Right? And also how the wires are run into the studs. This particular wire, like I explained earlier, it's metal. You can pull it, you could tug it, it will never break or cut. Like this one here, we have to use the grommet, which is this plastic shield, which is applied right here. Yes, you can do this, the tugging and pulling, but you hear the difference comparing to the Romex. This is Romex, and this is BX cable. In our early video, we talk about the bars on our exterior stud, which is we're using the 6-inch. If I was to shake this wall, I wouldn't even budget. The studs, which we mentioned earlier, and also we have the connection of the boxes. These are all part of the installation of the stud that we're going to be displaying and eventually be selling here in Guyana. The most important thing is that the strength of these studs withstanding fire. The sheetrock may be 4-hour fire rated. So also we have to remember it's not it's strong enough to withstand about anything, weather-wise, mildew, corrosion. This product here, many people are accustomed to using blocks, but we're trying to bring something new to Guyana in the building industry. Hopefully that people are receptive to this type of material, easy to work with, quicker, and as I mentioned earlier, stronger. This is the completion of our project here at the Guyana International Building Expo. And the amount of men that took to complete this job is 6, 3 Guyanese and 3 overseas. And the amount of hours that it took to complete this job is 16 hours, 8-hour working day. And this is to complete this project.